This is how you go from average to be your highest level, meaning your star power. And I'm looking forward to introducing four amazing tips that's going to help you go from average to your star power because we all have it inside of us. The thing about it is, there are certain people in life that kind of have that treasure passed down because the people that came on the side of them truly already mastered the science of how to operate in your life. And so I thank you for taking the time to jump in with us here because this is the inaugural show of Eric A. Bradley Live, reaching your highest good. And at the exact same time, I'm going to show you how I was able to rise above the noise and reach tens of millions of people with my voice. And you're going to know how to do exactly that. And at the same time, you're going to know exactly who should be in front of you so you could really be surrounded by the people that not only are near you, but they edify your space. They make sure you understand that they're clear on your mission and they're there to support you. And how exactly does that look? We're about to get into it, but I want to make sure that you guys let us know exactly where it is that you're watching this show from, because this is my birthday week countdown. And every day this week, we're coming in here to go live to give you another pearl and a few jewels to help you reach your highest good. And I am looking forward to doing that. And remember, how you wake up is how your life will go that day. These are things that I want you to know. How I got up this morning is, and I don't know if you can relate to this, but I'm going to share this story with you because it means so much to how I got to the place where I was able to operate for the rest of the day. First, I got up, and what I did was I allowed my mind to start scrambling because I kind of binged on television before I went to sleep. So, of course, your wheels start turning. Well, I woke up and my wheels were turning. I couldn't capture my thoughts and bring them down. So, let me take that next thing down, take that off the screen. And what I can do is share with you, monkeys were screaming on a hamster wheel. And how do you manage that? Well, I'm going to show you something that will interrupt that monkey. And you can do this every time your thoughts start to go array, just going crazy. I went into the kitchen, and this is what you call breaking the noise. And there were dishes there. And I said, okay, dishes weren't done last night in the dishwasher. I'm going to do them by hand. So what that did is allowed me to concentrate on something. I typically would, do my meditation, but you're not going to follow that seamlessly because you can meditate doing other things and keeping, as long as your mind is in that right place. So I typically would either put in my audiobooks, and I'm going to share some of the best audiobooks right now for self-development. So I know you want to reach your highest good. So that's kind of how you do it. I got up, I started washing my dishes, and within 3 minutes, my entire vibration had gotten under control. And so that's what disrupting that monkey. And Monday morning, people they're not even in a place where they want to go anywhere. They want to lay in the bed. They're recovering from the weekend that they took to get over the week. And when you're in that kind of life, man, that's a vicious cycle. But today I'm going to share four amazing tips that's going to get you out of that space. And I want to keep it 100% real with you. I'm not here to be your cheerleader. I'm here to show you why it works, because over the past 1 year, I did this thing right before the new year. I spoke to knowing what my highest accomplishments were. So you got to write that down so you can now measure what you are actually doing at this point to supersede that. And once my mindset got to that place where I was able to stop that noise, I wanted to take 1 second and say, you're in a place right now and you don't know exactly how you got there. And sometimes you don't know exactly how to get out of that space. You might have accomplished a lot financially, and now you sacrifice your mental health, your relationships. The people that you want near you most aren't near you most because you sacrifice them to get to that level, and you're confused in the space. So you can also disrupt that. So when you think about it, there's a network, it's called Showtime, and Showtime Boxing just ended their tenure. All right. They're over. There's no more boxing on Showtime Boxing. But one of the individuals who I'm going to use as an example is Al Heyman, someone who got it from here and took it to here and was able to take these four steps. First, he saw an industry, an entire industry. He, what we call, you peg these things. How did he go from doing concerts to getting into the boxing? Because there was the same thing. He had a star over here in a Michael Jackson, and over here in boxing, it's an industry, like that music industry. Once he understood, I know how to actually go through a process, because making it to the highest level isn't about work, it's about a process. You are following the process or you're not. You're allowing the process to control you. So you got to realize that while you're at that one space, it's because of the other steps that you don't have embedded in you, that you can take what you're doing to that next level based on what you know. He knew from having success in music, putting on major concerts, that means he understood event planning and having star power. That's why this episode is titled From Average to Star Power, because he'd been average continuously if he actually knew how to keep his star in check. First, you got to know how to break momentum. Get it? Interrupt the noise that's in your head. The next thing you have to do is identify an audience. First, it was concert going, R&B and pop music. Then shifting over to boxing. Now, also, there's an education in economics from Yale. So this guy is smart. It's all about those other two steps now. Finding the rock star. Now that you found the industry, he had Floyd. There was all of these other people, but the biggest name that he had and he signed was Floyd. He latched onto that, and the PBC was born. Canelo is now with him. He didn't start out there. So this is how you do it. You are only one step away from those other three steps being complete. So the first thing you got to do is identify where it is that you fit best in your talents and abilities. So every day I get up here and I create encouragement. And the encouragement is about letting you know what I know through experience. I was one step away. I was one phone call away, one text message away, one messenger message away, one DM away. You're right now one DM away. And you take and look at what pivots you can make right now today. This is the inaugural show of Eric A. Bradley Live, serving our people higher. So the question was, why did I decide to start this series? And it's a series, it's not just a show. I'm going to feed you tips and things that you can actually put into play right now, immediately. Basically, just by listening to what we say. Last year, we cultivated business owners and said, if you follow what we do and what we've done to reach into a humongous audience of people. So thank you all. We could not do it without you. But if you understand how to capture that audience, how to message to them and listen to them, that's what this is all about, is listening to you. Once you understand that, You turn it into your process. You put it into your framework of how you operate your business every single day. Any single, every single individual that did what we said from last year in our business mastery. And this is what you don't know about us. We offer that kind of coaching and guidance, right? So every single person that followed what we said, we're not geniuses. We've just done it. And we understand you can't get 6 and 7 figures not knowing what you do. You got to know what you're doing. Most people watching this, maybe you are 6 figures, maybe you're 7 figures, you may even be 8 figures because we have a big network of very wealthy and very, very, let's just say, modest living people that we are trying to now paint the yellow brick road for them, whether it's in advertising who you are as a personal brand or what it is that you do in business, because those two are two different entities. If you're operating as an individual that has a business, you must see how this same framework that I'm using, a la the Tony Robbins, the Grant Cardones, the Dwayne Johnson, Conor McGregor. First, you partner with companies that are large. From there, then you build your own personal brand. And even if you don't do the partnership at the beginning, you make sure that no matter what happens, that people understand you. That's why you get to see me walking through neighborhoods, sitting at the pool, walking in, creating, mixing drinks here, good, healthy stuff. You get to see inside because I'm a person that believes in being transparent with your audience. I just learned how to do it better now. So that's one of the keys. When you're building your star power, a lot of you have the talent, a lot of you have the ability, but you don't take action on that part. And once they start knowing who you are, you're one of the game changers then, because you know that what you have is unmatched. It's undeniable. And that's the number one goal that you set when you realize what you're here for. The two most important days of your life is the day you were born and the day you find out why. Now think about, you're already in position. You've already climbed to this substantial position in your career. Now, how do you take that and pivot and build your personal brand so no matter what endeavor you're doing, you won't be pigeonholed into one thing? You're able to now catapult the exact same way Al Heyman catapulted from music to sport and took over and got people to believe in him by his walk, the way he talked, and how he was able to fix the problem that was in boxing. People weren't making enough money. Al said, I can help you build your personal brand, which PBC has done well, and I can put more money in your pocket so that your family will be well off. Guys were coming straight out of the gate making $2 million a fight from not even making 5 figures a fight sometimes. I mean, so he did such a good job that Bob Arum, top rank in a couple of other uh, industries. I mean, a couple of other sanctioning bodies and people who operate under promotional banners sued him. I didn't mean to say sanctioning bodies, but promotional banners sued him. He won the case. Of course, you can't tell a guy how much he can pay. They were saying you're ruining the sport, but he really built the sport because he's building an educational place. So, with that being said, this is what our customers and the people that took part, they all scaled up, was a 40%. They listened to us. They took our advice and said to, I guess, their partners, their team, we're going to trust in this because they're doing it. See, in the day of the gold mine, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. The gold mine, if you guys have ever heard of the gold rush happened. When that happened, what stirred up is a frenzy. So everybody was wanting to go and dig for gold. But one component that people needed in order to dig was the shovel. So they had to visit shovel herders because when it was all said and done, If there's gold to be found, there's only very few people will find it. But the one that's going to get rich is the shovel herder. And the shovel herder understood, I know what actual market to be in. I'm not going to get into the gold market, but I'm going to get into the tool market. And so what was happening is everyone was getting shovels. And so the only one getting rich was the shovel herder. That's the day, right? Because only a couple of people can actually find the gold, at least the Brinks truck. And the only person that's going to keep getting money is the shovel herders. Did that make sense? Let me know that that makes sense. And make sure you let me know where you're watching from. We got another 10 minutes, but I'm going to close it out with a very strong message. There are so many people trying to get going, and beware of the individuals that are saying we will show you how to, blow up your media, make money. Think about this. If they're not doing it, then they can't do it, because who they are, those are the shovel herders. They're the only ones getting rich off of your money, and you have the talent, but it's no gold over here. You get what I'm saying? So that's where you know who you're targeting, and you're trying to get your swag on. You go back to the Al Heyman story, Showtime Boxing, people like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I use them like I use Kevin Hart and Steve Harvey, Taylor Swift. People who understand being personally branded is so important. And I just want you all to think about that thing you do better than anybody else, or that job that you do, the way you work at your job, which is your current status, your career, and think about, what if they paid you what you was actually worth? So that's kind of where I was. I decided that I needed to get to where I could get paid what I was worth. I believe the kind of information that I give and I share in our industry, in our companies, and with other real powerful leaders, the guys that you're watching on television are the people and the conversations that we have higher conversations with. You get it? So, and I want to pass that information right to you so that you can use it and so you can apply it right now, because how you wake up in the morning is going to dictate every single thing that you accomplish and how you accomplish it. Because if you get up and you're all over the place and you're scattered, then guess what's going to happen? Take that down. What's going to happen is that's how your day is going to go if you don't pay attention to the little things. So you got to get up and disrupt that vibration, wash some dishes, read a great book. I'm going to tell you a great book to listen to and read. One of them's Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't, make sure you do that. And if you're not someone that has a lot of time and you typically are multitasking, the best thing to do is get the audio book. But listen to it, because as it goes, it gets so thick and so dense with real serious content that's going to change the way you think. It's going to change the way you vibe. It's going to change the impact of the way you make decisions, just like I am doing, channeling things that I've learned to you. All I ask that you do is receive it, open your heart, and be thankful. And if you want to shatter and create havoc, really, meaning having control inside of your life, you got to know how to disrupt, and you got to have grace, because grace is the thing that creates humility, and it allows you to now follow the simple steps, because everybody who didn't follow what we said do last year didn't go anywhere but in a circle, because it's all about the process. So no matter what you're doing, if you're investing in businesses, if you're learning boxing, you got to think higher. You got to implement the way of higher thinking. Think and Grow Rich will open your mind. Knowing how to elevate your mindset and surround yourself with the people that you're watching on social media who are giving you information Those are the people that'll circle inside of groups with each other. I know because I'm in them. That's kind of why you see our numbers like spiking, going up and going crazy. Is because we're saying what needs to be said and not scared to say it. And I don't bite down and I don't ever regret what comes out of my mouth because I mean what I say. And if you rock with us, it's because you believe in what I'm believing in. That's kind of what we have in common. You don't have to put on my shoes, but you can take a little bit of the news because goodness comes from borrowing. Greatness comes from stealing. I'm giving you real content that you can steal and use it. And my direct message to you is steal it so you can get great. Don't knock and take my Pirellis off my tires. I mean, off my truck. But I mean, steal the knowledge because knowledge applied right is power. Al Heyman became one of the most powerful figures in all of business by making moves that are simple and they have processes and steps. So, one, get experience somewhere and get in a circle of people. Step number one. Step two, identify an industry and what you bring to it. Then find a person who can actually be the face, the voice, and that could end up being you. That's why personal branding is so powerful. And then rinse and repeat that. Know how to disrupt the market. That's how you do it. Disrupting the market, who you are. And that's kind of why we have, I'm a little OCD, I must admit. I've written so much. I got a stack of books, a briefcase full, because I want to keep serving the people that are in our world and in front of us higher. Because last year, it was all about learning how to deal with people and understanding that I was only doing enough to get by. I wasn't serving them higher. I was giving them the first layer of stuff, and that wasn't enough. So I had to add coaching calls and conversations weekly. I had to add backup and follow. I have a 4-step process that I do, and hopefully you can do this. So take this with you because you're going to want to use this. This is going to simplify your life. The first thing that I do when I just say, for instance, I'm about to take you and I'm about to teach you my system. The first thing I do is if I'm going to show you programming, because we're going to get into programming here, I'm going to show you the same thing that I do when I create an entire program. That means fitness, boxing, food, and understanding how to train the body in a way that keeps your mind in that place. Mindset, physical, spiritual, and psychological. That's how we do it. So first I bring them in and I train them like this. One, I let them see me do it. So they watch me do it. Second thing I do is I let them do it with me. That's number two. Number three is I do it with them. So they're getting a practical lesson. And then I watch them do it. 4 steps. And that typically takes 4 weeks. We do one a week. And that's easy for a person to digest. It's easy for a person to process. So, with that being said, it gets us to this place where I thank you all. And I want to know who you are. Please say your name. Let me know who you are and what are you aspiring to do in 2023 as it closes and 2024. Because there's a story I will share with you that the reason why I decided to serve higher is because that's what I did last year. This year, I want to connect. So, what does that mean? It means be more vulnerable than you were last year. You're having a birthday. It's the reason why you have a birthday, so you can compare where you were last year. So, this year, I'm in a different space. So, I want to impact this space differently. So, this series, cutting out the noise. You're rising above the noise. That's all this is about. And the steps and processes that you got to take to get there. So if your body is in a place that it wants to move forward, you might need help getting into the space where you can get healthier physically. because my resolution was closer to God, get my body in the most optimal shape that I could be in, not all shredded and all that, but all the way through internally and externally. And then to make sure that I connect with my people, and that alone will make the business flourish. That's the order it is. If you're waking up in the morning and you're thinking, I got to get right to business, then you're going to have a hard time in business because it doesn't work in that operative manner. The first thing you have to do is connect with people and give them some value and things that relate them to themselves. That's how you do it. And that attracts the people that you want in your circle, and they think like you. That's who you want in your circle, right? If not, what you're dealing with is a bunch of people that don't edify your stance, what you believe in. And when you find people that believe in what you believe in, that's your circle. And they know your talent, and you got a talent, you got ability. You are that beast, and you got to turn that on. And anytime you get up in the morning, your mind's going to be spinning. That's when you take it and break it. Pop, you break that momentum and you shift it to the things you need to do. Throw in Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There's so many pastors and motivational speakers and educational scenario things that you may not have be versed in. Pop open a book. But there's a couple of people on my page that I want to say hello to. First, there's a young man who came onto the page and he took part in our free footwork mini cap. And I found out that he was disabled. He couldn't train his kids. So he got that. We were able to have something that they could use. And that's what the game is about. Having something that people can use that will help them. And the first thing he said was, I was able to now watch them train because you were basically training them for me. Eat your heart out. And then there's 3 people that's institutionalized in the past month that's bought into our skills training guide, and they are going to rise above. And so I don't know about you, but those are the stories that move me. And that's why I want to make sure I know who you are, because I got magic people here on the page and I want to know them. And so this is recommended. This is necessary. It's my birthday week, but I got to pay it forward and serve higher, connect deeper. And so that's what we're going to do. And if you've been in a position where you've been wanting to get started with yourself and your media, you got a business and you're moving and you got that going, but you don't have connection, I'm telling you, that's the thing. You got to make the move. If you don't know how to do it, just make sure you have the wherewithal to go visit our website and schedule a call. And what I can do is look at what you're doing and basically just say, hey, this is what you're doing wrong. Try this, because our process, we got, what is it? 20,000 new people a week, every week that follow us. I mean, what would you do if you had 20,000 new people every week? We're being seen over, 3.7 million times each 5-day period of time. That's what we're doing. We're upwards of 20 million people that hear the word. So what would you say if that was your audience? And if you got a good comment, I'm going to invite you in on the show so that you can be heard. And I want to know what your highest good is, because that's what we're doing. The last thing I'm going to share with you is we're about to do a series on showing each day. I want all of you to take part on the page, because I want you to join in as we build slowly over the course of the week a program that will help you with your physical and your psychological and what you put inside that clears your mind. So if you're dealing with stuff right now, you look at your food and you say, I need to do better, then this is going to be perfect for you. If you're training for real and you just can't get over the hump, this will be great for you. And if you wake up and you got monkey screaming, this is definitely great for you. And just let you know that we are here to help, because you've supported what we do in our movement. And so that's all I got. Tomorrow, we're going to get into some serious breakdowns on 3 essential tips that you can use to really start to get your food on track and how to eat so it's not interfering with your mental growth and it's helping out your physical look and appearance and your confidence. Because when you get your confidence on, there's nobody that can touch you. And I know this, man. So check us out tomorrow, 10:35 a.m. Thank you all for taking the time to tune in to the inaugural Eric A. Bradley Live here across our streaming platforms. Until next time, I'll see you soon, guys. Be blessed and continue to follow us for more. Subscribe if you're an awesome person, and we'll get it popping tomorrow. Let's go. It's time to rise above the noise and going from average to superstar status. Peace out, guys. And special shouts out to my brothers in Top Training You, the School of Boxing. That's what we do.